Year 6, to work out tonight's homework on averages, the first thing you're going to have to do is to work out the mode, the median, the mean and the range for a set of data. So an important place for us to start is reminding ourselves what each of those keywords mean. So first of all, the mode, and the mode is the answer that occurs most often. The median is the number that would be in the middle if you put all of your answers in order from the smallest to the largest. To work out the mean, you add all of your answers together and you divide by how many you have got. And the last one is the range. And the range is the difference between the largest and the smallest answers. You do need to be careful with the range because you need to make sure that you've taken the largest value and the smallest value, not the largest number of people and the smallest number of people. So the first thing you need to do with tonight's homework is to turn your bar chart into a table. Yours can be drawn neatly, mine's just going to be quite rough. Once you've got your chart drawn, you need to fill in the number of chocolate bars that people have eaten. So some people haven't had any chocolate bars, some have had 1, some have had 2, some have had 3, and some have had 4. The next stage is to fill in the number of people who've eaten that many chocolate bars. You need to look at the bar chart to get the numbers for these, but I'm going to use different numbers to you. So don't take these numbers as being the actual ones. So I'm going to say that I had 6 people who didn't have any chocolate bars. I had 12 people who had 1. I had 2 people who had 2, I had 8 people who had 3, and I had 2 people who had 4. In my third column, I'm going to work out actually how many chocolate bars have been eaten. So to do that, I take my number of chocolate bars and I multiply it by the number of people. So to begin with, nothing multiplied by 6 gives me a total number of 0 chocolate bars that have been eaten. On to the next one, I've got 1 chocolate bar has been eaten by 12 people, so that means I'm going to have 12 chocolate bars. 2 people have eaten 2 bars, which means that 2 times 2 gives me 4 bars which have been eaten there. And then 3 people have had 8 chocolate bars, so between them they have managed to eat 24 chocolate bars. And then 4 chocolate bars have been eaten by 2 people, which means that between those 2 people they have eaten 8 chocolate bars. Once I have filled in my bar chart, I need to add up my totals down at the bottom. So to get this total, I'm just going to add up my number of people. That number is going to be important when I'm working out my mean. So you add up the number of people who've been surveyed, you get a total which is going to go down at the bottom. Next to that, you work out how many chocolate bars have been eaten all the way through. So I get again, adding all of those up, I'll get my total number of chocolate bars. So 48 chocolate bars have been eaten. A third column that might be useful for you is a running total. So my total here would be 0. I've then added on 12, so I'm up to 12. I'm then going to do 12 add 4, so that's going to now give me 16. From my 16, I need to add on 24, which is going to give me 40. And from my 40, I now need to add on the 8, which is going to give me 48. The running total is really helpful when you're trying to find your middle number. So then if I take each one in turn, we're going to start by working out the mode. And to work out the mode, I need to look at the answer which has been given by most people. So 6 people gave me the answer of 0, 12 people gave me the answer of 1, 2 people gave me an answer of 2, 8 people gave me an answer of 3, and 2 people gave me an answer of 4. As soon as I look through that column, I can hopefully spot that the 12 is my most common answer, and 12 people have answered 1. So I know straight away that my mode is going to be 1. Don't get caught out that there are 2 2s. That tells me that 2 people have answered 2 and 2 people have answered 4. Neither of those are anything near 12 people answering once. Okay, we now need to work out our median. And to work out our median, we need to find our middle number. One way of finding our middle number would be to write all the numbers out. So 6 people have answered 0. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 12 people answered 1. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. I could carry on, but it does get a little bit tedious if I have to always work my median out by writing out lots of numbers. Especially if I've got, say, 240 numbers or 5,000 numbers, then nobody wants to be writing them out. So I know I want my middle number, and I know that I have got a total of 30 numbers. So I'm going to do 30, I'm going to divide it by 2, and my answer will be 15. So I know that my middle number is going to be my 15th. So as I start looking down my responses, I know that I've got 6 zeros, 6 followed by 12 ones. So as soon as I add my 6 and 12 together, that gives me 18 numbers. That's already more than my 15. That tells me straight away that my 15th number must be in this group here. It must be a 1. It is the easiest way to work out your median, is to find your middle number and then work out where that number comes. So just to do it, go through it once more. How many responses have I got? 30. Divide them by 2. That gives me 15. Find my 15th number. So these are my first 6. These are my next 12. By the time I get to here, I'm up to 18 responses. My 15th number must be before that. So it must be in the 1 category. To work out my mean, I need to find out how many chocolate bars have been eaten in total, which in this case is 48 chocolate bars. And I need to divide the number of chocolate bars that have been eaten by the number of people who've been doing the eating. And in this case, that's 30. You can use a calculator for this section. So to work out my mean, I'm going to do 48 and I'm going to divide it by 30. And my answer is 1.6. Once I've got my 1.6, that is my mean average. You may find that you've got to round that, but look at your calculator carefully when you find an answer there and give your answer to 2 decimal places. So my last question is about the range, and the range is the biggest number of chocolate bars that people ate, taking away the smallest number of chocolate bars that people ate. So the most anybody ate was 4. And the least anybody ate was 0. So 4 take away 0 leaves me with 4. So my range, the difference between those two numbers, is 4.